And you're still watching The Breakfast Show, coming to you live from Cairo. And it's our pleasure to have with us General Ehab Youssef, security expert. Good morning, General.
Good morning, Mr. Nasreen. Good. Wish all the Egyptians are having a great day today.
Thank you, and we wish that too. It's a pleasure to have you with us on Night TV International, and I wanted to talk about the digital Egypt, and especially in police service, traffic service. Many topics, we can go on for hours, but I'd like to know first, General Ehab, what is your opinion that needs to be developed in police and security services? I know we have lots of stuff going on, like the application for the Ministry of Interior. We have many things already digitized, but what do you think is the most important thing that needs to be developed and digitized?
When we look into this area, especially while Egypt is developing its digitalization programs, this is a very important topic that we have to take it into consideration. And when we look into that, while we have a 100 million population, this is a huge task that Egypt is doing. When you divide the digitalization process that Egypt is going through, you'll find that the majority of the aspects are sitting with the Ministry of Interior. Because in the Ministry of Interior, you take your birth certificate, your marriage certificate, your driving license, your ID, your passport, lot of data that you have to issue from the Ministry of Interior. So that's why when this is digitalized, first it's going to help people so much to be able to have the service easily, and second is to have the ability as the Ministry of Interior to analyze all these data electronically, which is very important. Now the whole world is going into digitalization and having data on service. Having said that, Egypt, the Ministry of Interior, as you kindly mentioned, is developing a lot of programs and a lot of applications by which you can facilitate this issue. And nowadays, you can, over the internet, you can ask for a renewal or a reissuing of a driving license or an ID that can be sent to you over by postcode. So you don't have to go physically to these institutions to issue your data.
We've seen also. I've read this in the news that we have like the ATM machine, but it's like a booth to print your birth certificate or a birth certificate of a family, like in the airport, the Cairo International Airport, some of the malls. Is this going to be generalized all over the governorates?
This is a unique thing that Egypt is doing, and we've traveled to many developed countries, and this machine is not existing. It has been requested from Egypt to some of the companies, and they developed this machine. By this machine, you can, while you're on the mall, you're shopping, or you're on the bus station, or on
it's an amazing thing. I mean, I've never seen this anywhere else.
Exactly. Honestly, this is a new creation for Egypt, and it was the people on the Ministry of Interior who thought of it, and they asked the companies to create it or to develop it. The objective of it is that at first it releases people from going to the institutions where you have to issue these documents, so it releases the pressure and decrease the number, and at the same time give the people the ability to issue these documents 24/7, anytime, anywhere.
Yes, you have access 24/7 to documentation or certificates. Exactly. Do you think the digitizing of such services also helps in crushing corruption or combating corruption?
Definitely, yes, because the minimum amount you deal with employees, and we're not talking just about Egyptians, we're talking internationally.
It's an international concept. Digitizing helps combating corruption.
While you minimize the time and the authority that you are dealing with the employee, the governmental employees, it definitely decreases the amount of corruption. So if the employee knows that you can issue your documents over the internet You can submit a complaint over the internet, and at the same time, he doesn't have an authority to say yes or no. All he has to do is to click the button, and things will be issued automatically. Then the level of corruption falls down to the minimum. This is from a side. And from the other side, digitalization helps people to save their time, which is very important.
Yeah.
Now you need to be productive. You need to do your work as easy as possible. So by digitalization, this helps a lot to decrease this thing. The third important factor, which is very important from a security point of view, is the ability to analyze the data. The more data you have over the clouds and the servers, you're able to analyze everything. So when you look into Egypt after a couple of years coming, you'll find that every person will have an ID number. This ID number carries all his data from a criminal point of view, or from health point of view, and from properties point of view, and taxation. This cannot happen unless you have the infrastructure set up in the proper way, and this is what Egypt is doing through the Ministry of Interior now.
Oh, so just to make it simple to people who are watching right now, our audience, so it's like it's all the ministries and all the authorities are connected on one big data network, and you have the ability now, the government have the ability now to like compare information and correlate information to each other?
This is what we are going to in a couple of years, in a very short period of time. But the infrastructure now is building on the ID number, which is a unique number that each one of us has. So this unique number will carry your data, your personal data. Then the Ministry of Interior will add the other data to it, which is the criminal data, the marriage, all of this. And other ministries will add also to these data. It's not going to be seen by everybody. Each ministry will be able to get or capture the data they are authorized to do. And at the same time, this unique number, the ID number, will carry all the data of the person.
So it's like later on, if this person is vaccinated, if this person has a loan that he needs to pay, and for concerning security and police work, how significant is this in police work? How significant is this digitizing? And if we're talking about terrorism, combating aggressive or crime in the society, is this significant for the police work?
It's a hugely important and will have a great effect. Let me give you one example. Now you know that the technology is developing so fast, and now we have something called facial recognition over the CCTVs, over the cameras. So if you combine the face of the person to his ID number, that means in any camera that sees him, if it's connected to the Ministry of Interior, it will be able to tell you who is he, what is his history, and where he is now located. So if someone had did a crime or did anything that needs to be adjusted or taken to legal action, the Ministry of Interior will be able to allocate his position and find where he is, and have all his data in no time. On the other side, if someone that has no record, but he did a crime, from his face you can combine it into the ID number, and things can be traced from the other side. So it's a great development that's happening. It will make Egypt more safe and more stable, and at the same time it will help people to feel that they are able to take their services in a smooth and easy way in a short time, saving their pride and dignity and money.
And I think by digitizing everything, we're coping with what's happening all over the world, because what you were describing about having the national ID, this is a system that is being worked with in some other countries. So it's not like it's just not us only. We are just coping with the digitized years coming ahead. One more question concerning the digital or digitizing everything, the traffic, how this can affect the traffic and make us like enjoy more safe traffic, and enhance and improve it to minimize road accidents and crimes.
Egypt was rated as a high-risk country from a traffic point of view in the past. Now with the development that's happening in the infrastructure of the roads, that this level has decreased heavily. Putting this aspect of the technology on the other side, it will help a lot, because people, when they know that they are tracked or traced, they will start to obey the rules. It's human nature. Once you do, you know that nobody sees you, you want to break every rule. But when you know that there is a camera or the radar is capturing your mistakes and you're going to pay penalties for that, then you get aligned with the rules. The only thing that's missing in this area now is the education. I think that the Ministry of Interior has a great role to do to educate people on the new aspects of the technology that are used and how it is going to affect them in being, if they don't follow. So what are the rules? What are the regulations? I know that according to the normality, everybody should know the rule, but there is a rule for education.
General Ehab Youssef, thank you very much. I'm sorry we have to end it here. We don't have time, but it was a pleasure having you, and we had so valuable information, and we hope to have you in the future on ITV International. Thank you very much.